Queen Tribe YouTube fam, this is Coach Rod. I want to talk about how should a queen, ask questions. Cause a lot of times, I say, a queen should ask questions. Um, I talked about how, you know, in the book of Kings, chapter 10, the Queen of Sheba said that before she believed the things that she heard about King Solomon, she tested him with hard questions. And, you know, every queen should have a list of questions that they want to ask a man um, when it comes down to dating. Those questions should come from your core values, your core belief, your standards, your deal breakers, stuff like that. Um, and also, I wrote in my book, I wrote a chapter, 8 questions that a woman should ask. Um, in this chapter, chapter 10 talks about 8 questions that a woman should ask. If you haven't gotten the book, the link gonna be in the description box. Get this book. But those are just some questions and some ideal questions that I put out there. But really, your question should come from wherever your core values and your core beliefs are, your standards and your deal breakers. But in this chapter, it's just an idea of some important questions you want to ask a man. But every woman should have a list of questions they want to ask a man. Um, you know, Main important questions that I suggest you should ask a man is, you want to ask him, um, you know, what his views on marriage. What his views on marriage. If you're dating to get married and you don't want to waste time with a man, you should ask, what his views on marriage. A lot of men don't honor marriage. A lot of men don't value, marriage. A lot of men say marriage is nothing but a piece of paper. Why get married? So you want to know before you waste a lot of time with this man, what his views on marriage. And so I want to give y'all some, ideas or pointers of how to ask questions, because when you asking a man a question, you don't want to make it seem obvious that you trying to pick him out or whatever. Seems like you're trying to pick his brain. You don't want to like make it seem obvious that you are asking questions to see what kind of man he are. So you want to just ask questions in holding a general conversation. You don't go and say, okay, well, let me ask you some questions. Question number 1, do you want to get married? Question number 2, do you watch national movies? You see what I'm saying? You might want to know, do you watch national movies, whatever. So, it 9 times out of 10, if a man really wants you, if he really want to try to get you on your back, he would lie and say, I want to get married. I feel as though, you could be my wife. If he know that you are questioning him, you see what I'm saying? And I told y'all before, like, one of my clients told me, like, a man told her, like, man, I can't figure you out. I can't figure you out. Like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you want a man to say. I'm going to say this, what you want a grown boy to say. Because a real man ain't going to say that. You see what I'm saying? But then what that man was saying is, I can't figure out how to get you on your back. I can't figure out what to run game on you. Because that woman, according to what she told me, she didn't go on a date with a man and just start talking, and telling everything about her. And, she's not asking questions about him. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to know whether or not this man want to get married, this is just an example. Just an example. Don't say, okay, I got a question to ask you. Question number 1, do you want to get married? Just say it like just hold a conversation. General conversation. Y'all just talking. But in your mind, you know what questions you want to ask him. You know what you want to figure out about him. So, you sort of steer the conversation, in the direction that you wanted to go. This is how you, as a queen, ask questions and collect data. He don't even know you question about him, that you questioning him. You see what I'm saying? So you would say something like, just be talking, holding a conversation, you steering it in the direction of marriage. And then, this right here just an example. You would say something like, yeah, because, I know a lot of people on my Facebook, getting married. Wow, it must be nice to be able to get married. You know what I'm saying? I mean, good thing. Something like that. Just an example. It must be a good thing, to like get married. Wow, must be nice. And then stop. Look at him. You see what I'm saying? You want him to talk. You throw the question out. You asked him a question, but you didn't directly ask him a question. You see what I'm saying? You did throw it out there to get his input on it, to get his opinion on it. So if he respond and don't, now I'm gonna say this here. Now, if he don't want to talk, if he like, yeah, well, it ain't all that. Well, whatever. Like trying to brush it off, don't want to talk, then that's a red flag right there that he don't want to communicate, that he don't want to express himself. And whenever a man don't want to express himself, that's a red flag right there that he's gonna be emotionally unavailable and he's not a communicator. A mature man, he's gonna express himself. He's gonna let you know how you feel about it. If he, want to get married, he will say something like this: "Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm planning on getting married one day soon." See what I'm saying? Something like that. And then you might be like, "Oh wow, okay, that sounds good. Okay, that's good." Cause I had the same goals and dreams too one day to get married. You see what I'm saying? Then you tell him, what you plan on doing, what your goals are. But the mistake a lot of women make is they come to the table with a man on the date. See, I want to get married. If you want to get married, don't waste my time. You see what I'm saying? And now some men, when you say that you're gonna turn them off, they probably gonna ghost you after the date. But some men will sit right there and play a role, like I was telling you about recently, how men play roles. So now when you tell him, you want to get married, if you don't want to get married, don't waste my time. So what he gonna do? He gonna start playing the role. Cause why? You gave away the playbook. You let this man know what you're looking for, what you want in the beginning. You see what I'm saying? In the beginning is the most important, crucial part of the relationship. In the dating stage and all that is very, very important. That's gonna set the tone for the relationship. You see what I'm saying? So you come off in the beginning and tell him everything you want. Now this man know it role. Now he know, okay, now I gotta play a Christian. And believe it or not, I'm a coach. A lot of women got fooled by a man because Rod thought he was a Christian. We got married and then he doing the other stuff. Men, it's been known that some men have tricked women. Women thought they was a Christian. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to just come off and say, question number 1, do you want to get married? Question number 2, are you a Christian? You see what I'm saying? Question number 3, do you watch Nash movie? You see what I'm saying? Don't do it like that. Just hold the conversation. Hold the conversation. And if you want to know whether or not this man watch Nash movies, just be talking. And I'm gonna say this here: you may not. Don't ask all your questions on one date or phone conversation. Like just ask 2 questions. You know what I'm saying? Each conversation, just ask 2 questions. And sort of figure him out. But don't just ask all these questions because then he gonna know. You see what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you just not trying to get this man to know that you trying to figure him out. You see what I'm saying? So let's say you might want to know, do you watch Nash movies? And you would say, hey, just be talking. Yeah, because I noticed like the society that we living in, like, a lot of people into like, nasty movies and stuff. I mean, I ain't saying nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying like, I just know a lot of people into that, I mean, just like, wow, something like that. You gotta say what, because I say But don't say everything I'm saying, but just throwing some things out there. Just trying to give you an idea how to ask a question. Just throw it out there. You see what I'm saying? In conversation. And then see what he say. You know, if he say, man, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I watch a little now movie. Oh, you know what? You watch Nancy movies? Yeah, yeah, man. I like, oh, okay. And listen. Don't argue with him. Don't try to get him to see that that's wrong. None of that. Let the man have let the man have his opinion. He might say ain't nothing wrong with that. So don't try to make it feel don't try to make him feel like it's wrong. Oh, there is something wrong with that. Or you shouldn't be doing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop trying to argue with a man about everything. As a queen, you classy. You let him talk, but he don't know he's hanging himself. So do what I tell y'all. When you let a man talk, the man gonna hang himself. But if you sit there doing the whole date, the whole phone conversation, you just talking, you know. And listen, I know queens, that's one of y'all downfall. As a woman, y'all love to talk. And I know it could, I ain't gonna say it's a downfall, but it could sometimes talking too much too soon could come back to bite you in the behind. You see what I'm saying? So when you first meet a man in the beginning, you know, I'm not saying get on the phone, just hold the phone, don't talk. I'm not saying go on a date with a man, you sitting up there. Well, Coach Ross say don't talk. I ain't gonna say nothing. Let him do it. Talk. No, talk. But you got to have balance. You got to know when to let him talk and you talk. You see what I'm saying? Because when the man expressing himself, that's how you get to know this man. That's why even in the Bible it say, be slow to speak and quick to listen. Because when you talking, you're not learning nothing. But when you're listening, that's when you're learning. And I think I wrote that in this book right here. That's in this book too. You see what I'm saying? So when you listening, that's when you learn it. So throw it out there like that right there. Hey, you know, I notice that we live in a society, you know, where a lot of people are like international movies and stuff. Like you know, I'm not saying nothing wrong with it, you know, but I'm just saying I just noticed that, you know, I noticed that a lot going on in this, in you know, in society, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then just stop. Because why you gonna stop? Because you want him to give his input. Don't just porn is so nasty. Porn is so wrong. I don't know why. I don't want no man that watch porn. He gon' he gonna lie and say, you know, I don't watch that kind of stuff. I'm God fearing. I love the Lord. You see what I'm saying? He gonna lie. And once he know that you don't like it. So I'm saying, so you don't get your input on that. You just stop and let him talk. And if he not into porn, if he's a real God fearing man, he will say something like this right here. You know, nah, that's crazy, man. I don't know why people like to watch that nasty stuff. But me, I'm not into that right there. You know, I'm God fearing. You know, I just, you know, I used to, but I thank God that I've been delivered from, you know, those nasty movies, something like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you want to do it. You know, then now, okay, in your head, like, okay, it sounds good. You see what I'm saying? And like I always tell y'all, like I told you the other day, you know, you still want to wait till this man prove to you what he's saying is true. Always don't believe a man when you first meet that man. Give that man time to back up what he's saying with actions. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you ask your question. You just throw them out there in general conversation. What I'm saying is try your best not to be no obvious that you trying to ask some questions. You know, try to play it off a little bit. Hold a conversation with a man. Don't over talk. Let the man talk. Because when the man expresses himself, that's how, you know, you're going to get to know that man. And a lot of times, if you got the wrong intention, he going to end up hanging his own self. And you're going to know as a woman, now, this not a God-fearing man. He say he watched Nancy movie. He say marriage ain't no other piece of paper. You see what I'm saying? God-fearing man, they're not going to say marriage ain't no other piece of paper. God-fearing man is not going to be talking about, oh, I watched Nancy movie. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, you know, just some tips, some pointers I want to give y'all. Like I said, you know, it's in this book, Chapter 10, 8 questions a woman should ask. But I just want to tell y'all, how to ask the questions to not make it so obvious, so the man know your question. Just hold a general conversation, and just like I said, just throw some thoughts out there, and see what he say, see how he respond. And if a man don't want to talk, he not a good talker. He just, oh yeah, whatever, brushing things off. Don't want, then he's not the one, cause he trying to hide something. You see what I'm saying? But that's a mistake that a lot of queens are making. You're asking them questions, but you doing it in a way that this man know that you trying to figure him out. So he plays a role. He plays a role, and then now this man know it's about 6 months of your time. And a lot of times, some of my clients say, "How can I avoid?" And then somebody put this in the comment. How can I avoid again wasting 6 months with a man? You see what I'm saying? Well, maybe you probably not asking your questions the right way. You see what I'm saying? Because you asking your question the right way, and then you let him respond. If he got the wrong intention, he gonna expose himself. You see what I'm saying? He don't even know you're a Christian. Don't wear it on your shoulder. You're abstinent. That's a mistake y'all going wrong. I'm abstinent and all that here. Start wearing on your shoulder. Every man you meet, oh, I'm abstinent all that. Sit down, hold a conversation, talk to the man, throw your questions out there, and get a man chance to express himself. All right, don't go on a date. Just start talking. I'm asking. I've been asking. Yeah, I did the whole date or the whole phone conversation. You going on and on and on about you, what you are, what you doing, and this man, he's sitting there. Now, if he's a God-fearing man, if he's a real man, you gonna turn him off, and he probably gonna lose interest. But if he a man with the wrong intention, you tell him you God-fearing and you asking this and all that here, he gonna be like, yeah, I'm asking this too. No, he ain't asking it. Just be lying. No, he ain't asking it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of women do. And that's why sometimes women waste time with a man. Sometimes Christian women waste time with a man because you just on a date or on a first phone conversation just yapping at the mouth, and you let this man talk. And that's one of the weaknesses of a woman, that mouth. You see what I'm saying? This man is not your girlfriend. This man is not your girlfriend. He's a potential man that could be your husband. You see what I'm saying? So don't be talking to him, telling him everything about your past and all how many men you done been with, that man over here and all that here, how your ex had sex with you and all that stuff. Don't do that. You gonna turn the man off. Sit down, hold him into a conversation, and throw some questions out there. And the questions got to come from your core values, your core beliefs, your standards, and your deal breakers. Those where the questions got to come from. Hey, I hope this video will help y'all out. Hey, this is Coach Rod. If you haven't got my book yet, the link gonna be in the description box. Queens Don't Settle. You need to get this book. It's a lot of information in this book that is gonna help you queens out. While you're dating and what not to do, what to do, and mistakes that you're making. If you're with a man right now and you want some answers, get this book. Get this book. And once you read this book, if this book gonna give you some clarity on what you gotta do. My last chapter, 10 signs to leave a relationship. Once you read that, you probably gonna, walking away from a grown boy. Hey, this is Coach Rod. God bless y'all, man. Thank y'all for listening. We'll talk soon.